Hi Primps, I'm down at Suki Hairdressing in Paddington in East Sydney today with the wonderful Tammy Collins, who you may know from such blogs as Where Not to Wear Illuminator on Your Nose, as well as Brett Albury, who is the technical director here. Now the reason why we're here is to talk about balayage. It's one of the most searched terms on Primped, not only because it looks awesome, but it's also slightly confusing. So we thought, why not get a few of us Primp chicks to actually get balayage on our hair? And while we're here, still some wise words from Brett on what it actually is, how you can get it, and what you can ask for at the salon if it's a style that you're after as well. So now Brett, can you actually explain to us what balayage is?
Yeah, sure. Balayage basically in French means comb on colour, and it can be a bit confusing because it can give you so many different colouring results. But basically what it means is a progression of colour from dark moving through to light on the mid-lengths and ends, and it can be as absolutely subtle as a client may wish it to be, or as extreme and out there as you want.
Beautiful. So then if we want this colouring style, what do we ask for when we go into the salon?
Well, with balayage, it is the most sought after colour look that clients ask for, whether it's on the phone or when a client comes in and sits down. And because balayage can mean so many different things, I always ask clients if they can bring in a picture of what they want as a visual aid. And if they don't, we'll sit down with them and go through a whole lot of magazines to work out exactly what they want, how subtle they want to be, or how extreme they want to be, because as you can see with both of you, two completely different looks, but it's still balayage. So I know you guys brought in photos today, which was a great help to me.
I brought in a picture of Sophia Bush. Basically, I wanted a subtle balayage like hers because I've always had a block brunette colour. So for me, I didn't want something too drastic, too obvious, just a little change up. Whereas Tammy,
gone the other way. It was quite a drastic change. I was quite blonde when I came in, and I've brought in Jessica Biel, and Brett has worked wonders.
So we've adopted two different techniques because with Cherie was one solid block colour, so we've had to lighten up the ends to create this result. But because Tammy was so blonde, we've actually had to do the reverse and comb on darker pieces into the hair.
Now Brett, you mentioned there's a few different techniques of balayage. How are they actually performed?
Yeah, there's so many different ways that you can perform balayage, and it just depends on the results that you're after. Like if we take your case, for instance, you're a block solid dark colour and we wanted to lighten up the mid-lengths and ends. So to personalise your balayage service, we've done what we call parachutes, where we take fine weaves of hair all the way through and we actually backcomb or tease the root area and then colour the mid-lengths and ends and encase it in a foil and process that to lighten it. So what that does when you comb out all that backcombing, you get this shattered diffusion of colour. So if we look at how your hair goes from dark to light, it just blends and there's no starting or finishing point to the colour. It's basically seamless. So that's how we achieved your look. But if we look at Tammy, you know, you were a completely different colour. You were really blonde to start with. So we've adopted a more traditional balayage effect. So we've painted the balayage on, no foiling required, and just placed the colour where we wanted to. So taken some parts darker, kept some lighter, and definitely kept it light around your front just so your eyes really stand out.
Beautiful. Yeah. Now, I know that you can style your balayage hair in a different way to sort of enhance the colour technique. How do we do this?
Yeah, it is. It's great. If you put some waves and curls into balayage hair, that balayage just pops out. Like all this colour through your mid-lengths and ends are just going to come alive if we put some different shapes with waves and curls into it. Just creates a different texture.
Beautiful. So you're going to show us how?
Let's do it.
Beautiful. Thank you.
So using big, large sections, I'm placing the large stylers in vertically into the hair, turning them 180 degrees, and then just slowly working them out. So there's no need to keep twisting the stylers, and keeping the tail end held, nice and slow and consistent, and you get a nice sort of open curl like that, and you can already see how that colour's sort of popping out.
It's amazing. So with my new balayage dye job, when do I next have to come to the salon for a touch-up?
Well, the beauty of balayage is that you don't really need to. Because we've got a darker colour progressing into a lighter colour on the ends, it means you get no regrowth. So if you don't have your hair coloured for another year, it's still going to look fantastic because that lighter piece is just moved further down as your hair grows.
So it's beautiful for people who are A, on a budget, or B, don't have the time to come into the salon all the time.
Exactly, it's perfect for that.
Brilliant. And we've come to the end of our balayage adventure, Primps. I just want to say a big thank you to Brett for having us here at Suki Hairdressing, and as well for taking the mystery out of balayage.
Oh, thank you guys for coming in and letting us look after you.
No worries.